Hi everyone, and welcome to another Quick Guides. Today we're going to be talking about Hurado. So first of all, what's the point of building Hurado? And the main point of building Hurado is for, at the current meta, PvP arena teams countering things like Moonlight Araminta or Immunity Set, or synergizing with Moonlight Araminta and other AoE stunners and debuffers to get that really quick speed to remove all positive effects against your opponents. Meanwhile, trying to control them as much as possible and decreasing the amount of healing. So, in the PvP meta, he's really good because of not only because of his S3, which is one of the few skills that has a 100% chance to dispel all debuffs on a low cooldown, which is a 3-turn cooldown if you Mulligora into it. And it also reduces the combat readiness by 15%, which happens after the effect of Dispel. So if you Dispel them and they have immunity debuff, you'll still get the 15% combat reduced. So it's S2. This is a skill that not as many people talk about. It's basically a nerf to all healing. It's really good versus countering things like Moonlight Ken or Ken on Lifesteal set, and also those heavy healer full turtle teams. You can get it up to 50% increase enemy recovered health. And it also, whenever someone does like a Falconer Flurry where it isn't a combat, Falconer Flurry Hawk that isn't a combat thing, or if someone buffs or heals, he also gets 20% combat readiness. And then his S1 is really good control. You can get it up to 50% silence. His scaling and damage is kind of weak, so you're more likely to build him on more of a speed/survive set for those PvP encounters. So there's a couple different ways I like to use him. Currently, I'm using him as kind of a second turn. I know my characters are a bit lower speed than most teams because I haven't gotten good speed rolls, so I use him as kind of that character to go right after they use their buffs, and then just try and purge those buffs to counter those teams. You can also use him as aggression and pump him up to like 240 speed and try and get him to go before, let's say you have Moonlight Araminta, try and get him to go before Moonlight Araminta, and then he can just dispel the entire team so that you can land that S3 100% stun on Araminta and basically GG from there against pretty much any team. He currently isn't used much in the PvE meta, but he could become actually relevant in that if we see a lot of cleansing and self-healing bosses coming out. Like if we have a boss where there's barriers that heal him, or um, other minions that constantly heal or buff the boss that you have to take care of. Maybe they have a lot of HP. You could see him having a bit of use in there. You could possibly use him for stuff like Golem or Asmocalis 11, but it's he wouldn't be the best choice, and you'd need quite a bit of investment for him to actually be quite good for that. Um, his imprint is health, so not a very good imprint. His imprint isn't great. What would I try and build him? Currently, almost all builds are going to be speed hit, speed immunities, mostly for PvP, so you're going to see that very commonly. On a defense team, you could also try and run him with Abyss Crown and maybe get a counter set. That could also be something if you built him really, really high HP and defense, just trying to get enough time for the lightning to rain down on your opponents. So my Mulligora priority here is I would if you're gonna Mulligora and invest in him, I'd recommend investing in S3 up to 100% chance and reduced cooldown, and 1 or 2 points into Dark Magic. And if you're going really ham, you can go into the effect chance on S1. But the S3 and the S2 are you're going to get the most value out of your Molagoron. As far as artifacts concerned, you have a couple different options here. You can run Siren. If you max it out, you have a 10% chance to sleep, 10% chance to silence, 10% to decrease hit chance. So bit of everything and higher chance of landing. Overall, Abyss Scepter's a bit better, or Abyss Crown's a bit better because stun's a lot harder of a CC, but it's a lot bigger of an investment. You could run a Layla's Violin, but I wouldn't really recommend it as his S3 has a really low cooldown. You could also run a lot of different things if you wanted. If you're really aggressive, you could run a book on him to try and get that extra soul for a soul burn for maybe something like a Vildred team. Or you could also run Etika's Scepter to try and get like a 2-turn cooldown on his Dark Explosion so you could get it up a bit more often. But as far as my recommendations go, usually Abyss Crown or Siren are safe bets for PvP. You'll see a lot of bonuses from them, especially since Siren and stuff like that. Like let's say you're attacking a fat cat, your Siren, even if you miss him, the Siren can proc and put a debuff onto the fat cat. So after that, let's take a look at what kind of awakening materials he needs. So he's same as Rule, he's Pisces. You can awaken him fully, but you don't really need to. I just did because I ended up using him a lot and wanted to do it more of for fun than actually the use. I'd always recommend going up to the 5th star awakening though, because the speed is really, really important for him. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these guides in the future. All of these guides I have a rule that I'll only do them on characters I use. So if I don't use a character, if I haven't used him in a lot of different things, like if I haven't farmed with him, if I haven't tried to put him into a lot of PvE raid compositions and PvP, I won't do them. So for me, that's kind of a big no-no. If I can't use them, regardless of like my experience and what I think, I'm not going to show them off because I think it's just more or less doing a disservice to kind of the community. Okay, so let's take a look here. We're going to test him out in a couple arenas. It's his main use. Something like this is a really you can use Hurado as a really strong counter. You're going to get basically passive abilities boosting up Hurado from 3 of their characters here. The only thing you got to really worry about is Assassin Cartuja. He might kill one of our guides. We're just going to try and go full ham here, do a really quick fight. So let's see how this goes. So let's see here. They have no immunity. So this is going to be a bit ballsy, but I'm going to go ahead and try to S3. Looks like we got a little unlucky there. We got 2 misses. I was hoping to armor break the fat cat. That actually was really unfortunate because at 15% now I lose my turn with my Bologna, which puts me a bit behind. I'm going to wait for the immunity. I'm not going to go just yet. See, I'm not going to get the next turn. I might get the next turn versus Fat Cat, so I'm going to actually attack him to try and remove the debuff. My main focus is going to be trying to push him back. Got 1 miss there, so 2 15% chances, 1 of them procced. Now we can debuff. Fat Cat doesn't have his evasion, so we should have a good chance. Everyone's got 15% chance to miss. Only got 1 that was removed there, so not too bad. I would use Vildred for the buff, but since Fat Cat's gonna go up, I don't want him to hit Bologna with that armor break, or while the armor breaks up. So I'm gonna armor break myself and try and hit a couple here. Meanwhile, I can do some good damage to Fat Cat. We got really unlucky there. 0 armor breaks going on. As you can see, Hurado's like got a lot of control here. We can take a look at the skills. We can see that, oh hey, Angelica's got a heal up. So try and silence her 35%. Unfortunately, only got the blind, which isn't going to do much. We're going to go ahead there and force the miss so that we can try and do some damage here. Hoping to get some good damage off and force a res off of Rule here so we can put it on cooldown. Since, okay, let's see here. We're gonna try and push Fat Cat again because we're trying to get him down. He's gonna miss this for the guaranteed, but everyone else is gonna be lower. See, now we've pushed the res and vulnerability. It's gonna go on Deanne, which gives us an opening to reduce the damage on Fat Cat here. So let's hope he doesn't evade. Okay, got good there. Gonna just try and focus him down as much as possible. He got a miss. We're still in good shape here. I'm going to attack Fat Cat because that means that I can pretty much secure the kill with Bologna here, even if it misses, because we're going to do the proc. So we've got some kills going on here. So as you can see throughout the fight, the amount of healing's massively reduced by Hurado. Like it's a big deal. And now we can control a bit more, push them back. He is just one of the best 3-stars in the game, if not the best 3-star. Hands down a solid pick for almost any team. In PvP wise, that is. Okay. We got that nice proc on Vildred. My Vildred is actually only 1/1/1, so he doesn't have much investment in him. He's not like a lot of people's heavy hitting Vildreds. He's got good gear, but unfortunately I just didn't invest in him early on and decided to try out some other characters. But this was a pretty good fight to showcase kind of what Hurado is capable of. A lot of people underestimate him a lot. I've been using him since well before Specimen Says came out, so I've kind of had a lot of time to see him progress, and even pre this immunity meta, he was still a very strong healer counter. So it's not like he all of a sudden became good, it's just that he wasn't being used very often, and now, kind of as the meta shifted, he's become more and more popular. I can see like Hurado being less popular when a bit more heroes get introduced. Basar is a good complement to kind of as a different option for Hurado, because unfortunately he's not Moonlight, so you can't do it to everyone, but he's got better damage, better overall stats, a little bit slower, but Basar is a very strong hero with a similar kit. We're probably going to see a lot more of that coming out, like the speculation on Moonlight Bale, like he's going to be another powerful dispeller. He's going to be a bit stronger than Hurado. We're probably going to lose this one, but I'm just going to show kind of the healing reduction on Moonlight Ken that we get. But as we see the introduction on Rin and Moonlight Bale, he'll become less and less strong for the current meta, which is fine. Like, people get too concerned over it. He'll still be a good character. You don't need a lot of investment in him to make him really a strong pick. So I think there's nothing really to be too concerned about if you're just gonna put like a few moles into him. It's if you're trying to like max him out, I wouldn't recommend that right now as we're seeing a little bit of a change in the meta. And unless you want to just go ham and try and push for those legend spots, I don't think you'll get the value out of those Molagoras like you will for the first few skills of his. When it comes to Molagoring, my mentality in general is that basically I'm gonna full Molagora characters I really love and are really versatile, because right now they are quite limited still, and I want all of them to count. Like, if they don't count... See, like, that basically lost me the game. I didn't get the Dispel, and he got a counter, so that's fine. I just wanted to kind of show how much the debuff does, but my mission isn't accomplished here. But you know what? Let's have fun anyways. Let's see if we can remove his defense. Nope. This isn't gonna kill him, but yeah. Just trying to show you how much reduction he'll do from Moonlight Ken. If I really wanted to counter this team, I would have run some different members. Like I would have run an Assassin Cartuja to basically full counter the Ken. We got an unfortunate miss there. Let's see if we can crit. Oh, we almost killed him regardless. This is quite a strong team, so let's see here. Can probably go here. We're just gonna die on the Assassin Cartuja, which is fine. Nope, no crit. Death. Very close, but we did our best. Super tank team. If we really wanted to counter them, like I would bring probably Assassin Cartuja for the stun, and Cigarette to basically one-shot Moonlight Ken. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching till the end if you got here. And if you want to see any more guides of my specific characters, just let me know and I'll try and post them as soon as I can. Thanks, and bye for now.